Spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to you. Herod the Tetrarch heard about all that was happening, and he was greatly perplexed, because some were saying, John has been raised from the dead. Others were saying, Elijah has appeared. Still others, one of the ancient prophets has arisen. But Herod said, John I beheaded. Who then is this about whom I hear such things? And he kept trying to see him. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good morning, dear brothers and sisters in Christ.
Good morning, Father.
You know, I find the character of Herod in the Gospel one of the more interesting and fascinating ones. And let us clarify, there are three Herods. The first Herod is Herod the Great. He was the one who was king when Mary and Joseph got married. He was the one who ordered the killing of the innocents. That is the father. He had two sons. Actually, he had many sons, but he had two sons named Herod. There's Herod Antipas, and then there's Herod the Tetrarch. And the character in our gospel for today, this is the one who was king when Jesus was arrested and eventually killed. So let us not confuse. You might think that from the time that Jesus was born, Herod was king, until the time Jesus died, Herod was still king. That would have been such a long time. There were three Herods in the gospel. But anyway, this Herod the Tetrarch, I find him fascinating. Why? Because he was always intrigued, and he was always interested in the words of the prophets. If you read closely the narrative about the beheading of John the Baptist, you will notice that he had John in prison, but it states in the story that he still listens to John. He still wants to hear what John has to say, even though he is greatly disturbed by the words of John. And for me, this points to a very, very interesting dynamic, a very interesting thing happening to Herod. Even though he is disturbed, even though he doesn't want to hear what John is saying, he recognizes that there is some truth to it. That's why he is still interested. He is still fascinated. And we see that characteristic again here in the Gospel. He hears words about Jesus. He hears words about this new prophet that is teaching. And some people were saying he is John the Baptist, he is Elijah. And Herod was perplexed again. He said, I beheaded John. Who is this one whom I hear so much about? And he kept trying to see him. Take note, hearing about a new prophet, he does not immediately order a command to execute that prophet or to capture that prophet. The Gospel says he kept trying to see him. He wants to hear the words of Jesus. He wants to listen to the truth. And I think, dear brothers and sisters, this speaks very much to us as humans. We are fascinated by the truth. We want to hear the truth. Even though many times we are disturbed by the truth. We are hurt by the truth. But we cannot deny its attraction. And I find the character of Herod very interesting, because many times in our lives, we could become like him. How many times are we interested about Jesus? How many times do we want to hear about Jesus? How many times do we want to follow Jesus? But we are just too comfortable in our lives. We are just too comfortable in what we have, in what we are doing, that we do not do anything. or that we are too afraid of what people will say or what people will do. And so we remain interested, but we do nothing. We want to know more about Jesus, but reading the Bible takes so much time. It's boring. I don't like to study. So we remain interested. We always have that idea, I want to read the Bible, but we never open the Bible. How many times are we interested in developing that closer relationship with God? And yet, what's happening on TV is more interesting. So even though I said I will pray, I forgot, because there's very interesting things happening in the drama I'm following. Or how many times that we want to follow Jesus and we want to give more of our time to the church, volunteering in different groups, different activities. But I am too comfortable, and I say, maybe next time. I'm not in the mood today. I just stay in my house. I say, I have still other things to do. You know, I have to tend to my garden, I have to do my laundry, etc., etc. It happens to us. What is happening to Herod? We are interested in Jesus. We want to know more about Jesus. We want to be closer to God. But it remains a desire. It remains something we want, but we do not do anything about it. Dear brothers and sisters, our faith, following God, following Jesus, is more than desire. It is action. It is doing something about it. Let us pray to the Holy Spirit that we may be granted the strength and the courage to work for what we desire, that we may not become Herod. He is a very, very sad character. He is fascinated by Jesus. He is fascinated by the truth. But eventually, he allowed all the things and the people around him to influence him. And he became the villain